Hey, what's up guys? It's the Catalyst47 here, back with another video. So as for today's video, what I want to do is, well, y'all already know by the title, but I just want to give y'all, not really, I mean, it is a little bit of a basic Burning Abyss little tutorial. Nothing like crazy or anything, just basic combos. I mean, I didn't really want to make this video just because I know there's a lot of other combo tutorials for Burning Abyss, like the basic ones, but I just felt like I wanted to combine this with like my it's an even more updated profile of the Burning Abyss that I just did a few weeks, like was it a week ago, 2 weeks ago? Um, but I thought this was a good way to do it, like to make it not just the deck profile, but and like add a little bit of a combo tutorial. It's not really anything crazy, like I said. The Burning Abyss doesn't do any complicated combos. They're pretty simple stuff. But in case people don't know, I just thought I'd do it again. And like I said, I do have like I think a video about it, but it's from I think like half a year ago. So for anyone who's new to the channel or something, and I know I've gained it since like half a year ago. I've gained not a crazy amount of subscribers, but I think I've gained maybe something like 30 or something, like 30 subscribers in the last like 6 months. But yeah, guys, I thought I'd show y'all, and I mean, let's not waste any time and let's get right into it. All right, guys, so let's get right into the profile. So I'm just gonna quickly breeze through it because most of the cards are the same, but there are a few small differences. So of course, the triple graph, absolute must in the deck. Y'all know what he does now. Still playing the triple seer. I still decided to keep it at 3. I mean, pretty standard though. Like most builds have 3 anyways. Then we got the double Farfa. Of course, good interrupter in the deck. And I do think that 2 is fine. Just because of you need different names for their effects. So, like to be able to take really good advantage of them. 2 Scar. Like I said, we have Graph Seer and Tourcat all at 3. So I don't feel like this is a 3 of. We got the 1 Libic. Of course, the best one of the 1-ofs lets you summon BAs, and the way they get summoned with this effect, you can have other non-BA monsters on the field. The 1 Barbar, of course. Barbar for game, you know. The 1 Alec. Just a different BA name, really. I mean, his effect could come up, but it doesn't happen too often. It's a little hard to time it correctly. And then I did put in the 14th card, the 1 Calcab, just because, like I told you guys before, I really wanted to try to find a way to put in one more BA. It did feel like a little bit on the low count with 13. So Calcab being a different name, really good. That's it for the BA monsters, 14 like I said, and then support BA cards, triple tour guide. Of course, it's tour guide. Double Rhino Warrior. Oh, I don't know if y'all could tell, but I got supers. Super hyped about that. So yeah, Rhino Warrior. Just because Tour Guide's at 3 now, you don't need to run this card at 3 anymore. 2 is fine. It goes well with this card, Backjack, of course. Still running 1. You're running the trap version, so really good to have. So just 1 because you don't want to draw it. Now going into the hand traps and going second cards. Got triple Ash Blossom, of course, the best hand trap in the format. Absolute must. And I'm still running the triple Forbidden Droplets. Like I know Droplets isn't like a card that's heavily used right now, but I feel like in this deck it works pretty well because it helps you break the boards and you get to discard BAs, so you get their effects as well. And then I added this card in. I replaced Imperm just because Imperm is really not as strong in the meta right now. And even though it's okay with this deck because it's a normal trap card, I just felt like I could probably get more use out of this card here. Triple Solemn Strike. I mean, it is still a trap card, but you can't use it with Backjack or with Trap Trip because it's not a normal trap card. But this card is just, the advantage it makes is so good. It's really good going first. It's not as bad as you would think going second because your opponent, they just have to use the monster effect and then you can just activate this even if you're going second or whenever it's their turn again. So it's a really good card because not only does it negate the effect, but it gets rid of the monster. Super good. Then we're going into triple Ice Dragon's Prison. Super good card. This format interrupts in the graveyard and gets rid of 2 bodies, basically. So, really OP, not to run. Still triple Torrential. Pretty good card this format. Blows out a lot of decks, and it's not once per turn. And you can get it with Trap Trick, as well as Ice Dragon's Prison. You can get it with Trap Trick. So, of course, the triple Trap Trick. I still would rather run 2, but you really want to open it, so running 3. And then the last card, 2 Finger Reefing. So I cut this card down to 2, so I could put in the other BA monster. And the reason I cut this one to 2 is because, I mean, it's a decent card, but I just feel like it's not as important, in my opinion, to like draw compared to the other trap cards, compared to the Solemn Strike or the Torrential or the Ice Dragon's Prison, which I feel have more impact. Because you have Trap Trick, I just feel like you really only needed 2, because this is probably the least important trap card. And with Trap Trick, you can just dish it out if you need it, like search it out if you need it. So I don't think you need to run 3, and I really wanted to run the 1 more BA. But yeah, that's it, guys, for the main. Still 40 cards, of course. Now going into the side, the extra deck. I did decide to put in the 3rd Dante, because, first of all, I wanted to run 3 secrets. Super nice. But no, it has been coming up a little more often where I do feel like I need a 3rd one. So I was like, yeah, why not? And it's been working out pretty well for me. There's been a few games where I actually do go and use all 3. Helps with the grind. And then the 1 Beatrice, of course, you're playing BA, need Beatrice. And the 1 Zeus, Zeus is still super good card. It's gonna be a good card. So if you run XE monsters, you should try to get a Zeus if you can. The Downer, just so you can, if you have Dante with no materials and you attack, you can go Downer and then go Zeus. And the Axis Code Talker, really easy to make in this deck, and super good card right now. Probably the best link for right now. The Boral Sword for the, both Access Code and Boral Sword are basically there for the OTKs. It's not that hard to make Boral Sword either. Of course, the Nightmare package. Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. You're running IP, so if you're running IP, I feel like you need these 3 cards to interrupt your opponent on their turn. The IP, of course, like staple in this deck. The 1 Cherubini, just really good for basically to combo through and being able to get like your big monsters out, your Link 4s. A lot of the plays, if you don't include like the IP play into Unicorn and then, bring back Dante when you discard Seer stuff, besides that play, this card is the one that facilitates your Link 4 plays. The Gravity Controller just helps if you draw Seer with another BA and you can't get to Graph. And then last but not least, the 1 Pilgrim. It's here just in case. A lot of times you're going to just use IP with Beatrice to go into Unicorn, so you're not going to get to summon him. But, if you get interrupted or something, it could always come up, and sometimes your opponent doesn't really expect it. So yeah, guys, that's it for the deck profile, or quick rundown of the deck. Slightly updated, but now let's get into the comp. I'm not gonna go into my side deck just because it really hasn't changed. So didn't feel any need for it. So I thought I would just quickly show. I'm just gonna show. Let's see. I'm gonna show probably just 3 combos, really, just so you guys know for the future. So of course the tour guide combo, it's pretty basic. Like I said, most of y'all have probably seen it, but I just wanna, first of all, I did need a little more content. I wanna create more videos for you guys, and for the people who are new to the deck, maybe they've never played Burning Abyss. So yeah, so tour guide, of course you're gonna normal summon tour guide, and then you're gonna use the effect to search for Graph or special summon Graph, and then you're gonna overlay into Dante. And then if you're going first, I'd probably just mill 1 card, but It doesn't really matter what you mill. But let's just say whatever, like you mill another card, doesn't matter what it is. We detach graph, so graph effect will trigger, which will special summon Seer, and then you will link both of these off into IP, and then you'll get Dante and Seer will trigger. So Seer will special summon Dante, and Dante will add Seer back to hand, and then you can just discard the Seer to the graveyard to go into your Beatrice. And that's basically combo number 1. Now, this is why Tour Guide is like super good, because you just need Tour Guide, and basically you would have 4 other cards in hand if you're going first. So ideally you would hope that one of the, like, there's at least either one hand trap and then a couple traps in there, or maybe like one trap and one hand trap. That'll be really helpful to your board as well. Like even if you have like one trap and one hand trap, and then maybe you have like one dead card you can't really use. So you'd have the trap card, whatever it is. You'd have the one hand trap. That's basically like 2 interruptions right there. Then you have Beatrice for a 3rd interruption, and then you have IP for a 4th interruption. So it's pretty easy in this deck to end with like even if you don't have a hand trap and you just have like one trap and then like 2 dead cards or something that you can't really use at on your opponent's turn. I mean, 3 interruptions is still like not that easy to deal with. But yeah, that's basically how it goes. I guess the follow-up to this, if you, let's see, I had it like this. So you have these engraved and then like one random card. Doesn't matter what it is. The mill off Dante. Like on your opponent's turn, like you could, I mean, if you have a hand trap, then you would probably use that first. Unless it's like, I mean, I don't run Nibiru, but unless it's like something like that. But you could use Beatrice, detach Dante, and then you can send like, really the only 2 targets that you really would send are either Absolute King, Backjack, or Farfa to interrupt your opponent. I guess it does kind of depend. Like maybe if you don't have any trap cards, you might want to send Backjack just to hope to. I mean, if you don't have any trap cards at all, then there's a high chance. Like if you drew all monsters, there's a high chance that you'll be able to get a trap on your top 3 after you've shuffled and everything. But you could also send Farfa if you want to banish a monster, and then Dante will trigger as well to add a Seer back to hand. But let's say you send Backjack. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But you send the card, whatever. Then what you can do is you can just use IP and Beatrice as for a 2nd interruption. Most people are gonna go into. I mean, most of the time you're gonna go into Unicorn, but Phoenix or Cerberus is an option as well. Then you would discard your Seer that's in your hand, which will trigger Seer's effect to bring out Dante. And now you have 2 interruptions. If you had a hand trap, that's 3, and if you had a back row, that's 4. But your board would most likely end like this when your opponents, after all the, I mean, if they can still out this, well then I guess they just had the nuts, right? But if not, then on your turn now you can just use these 2 to go into Access Code Talker. And of course Dante will add back Seer just to keep going with the Seer loop combo. So that's basically it with, I mean, the other combos will end on the similar board. And I'm not gonna go like repeat this part of the combo again because you guys will already have seen it. But yeah, so that's basically combo number 1, and basically showing y'all like the follow-up as well. So for combo number 2, what's gonna happen is it would basically be Rhino Warrior with any other BA card that's not Serograph basically. So of course you would, I mean, it doesn't really matter. You could special summon your BA, normal summon your Graph. You know, go into Dante, and then you activate Dante's effect, detach the Rhino Warrior, and of course if you're going first, you'd most likely just do 1 card, or I would, and then of course you would trigger Rhino Warrior's effect in the graveyard to send Graph to the graveyard from your deck. Graph will activate, special summon Seer. And then from here, it's the same thing again. You just go into IP. And Dante Seer would trigger. Add to hand. And then you just discard the Seer to go into Beatrice. And that's basically it. It's the same thing. So, and the combo would be exactly the same if you had a Graph and a random BA. Like, it's the same thing as if you had Rhino Warrior. So if you draw Graph, it's not really a big deal either. You just special summon and then normal summon and then do the same thing. So that's basically it. And then the last combo, like of the relevant ones, would be, let's see, it's having Seer and any BA that's not Graph. So what you would do here is you would special summon your BA, normal summon your Graph, go into your Dante, make sure that it's in the extra monster zone, and then you would just link off the Dante into a gravity controller, and then you would get Seer and Dante basically. So Seer would special summon Dante, Dante would add Seer, then you just discard and you go into Beatrice. But yeah, that's basically, I mean, so drawing Seer, even though it's not ideal, like drawing Seer is not the end of the world if you don't have a way to Graph. So you can still combo, like gravity control. I mean, of course, it's not as strong as having IP, but it's not a huge deal because, I mean, it's still better than just this board is still better than just ending on Dante only, because you have at least interruption on your opponent's turn. So yeah, don't think that like, oh, you would just use these two to go into Dante and then that's it. Like that, you can do more than that. So yeah, that's basically the 3 combos that I wanted to show you guys. Like I said, with the second combo, like it's the same as the first, just you just need 2 cards instead of just Tour Guide, and the follow-up, I guess, basically the same thing. With this third combo, it's a little bit different, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. So yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it, guys. I mean, I just really wanted to show you guys the. Oh, I guess I could show you guys one more actually. So having Tour Guide with any like other BA, because that's actually more likely to happen than Rhino Warrior with another BA, because you have 3 Tour Guide and only 2 Rhinos. So what you could do here is you can normal summon your Tour Guide, and then of course you search for your Graph. This is like, actually I guess I could show what you can do without a Burning Abyss and then with a Burning Abyss, but what I was telling you guys before, this is why I really like Cherubini in the deck. So you can use these 2 to go into Cherubini, and then Graph will trigger to special summon Seer from the deck, and then from here, then you can just go like into a Link 3. Link 3. So you would just go into like Unicorn, which kind of sucks. I mean, if you don't have another card in your hand, then you won't be able to use the effect, but most likely you will. And then Seer's effect will trigger, so you can just summon. You can summon that back either the Cherubini or the Graph. Doesn't really matter. But for this purpose, let's just say you go and you get Graph, and then from here you can just go into Access Code Talker. Oh, here it is. And there you go. Like just one Tour Guide is Access Code Talker. So pretty good stuff. Now if you wanted to extend it further, okay, let's say you had a BA in hand as well. So the play would change a little bit, but what you would do is So you have tour guide and another BA, right? So now you would normal summon, oh wait, sorry. Oh yeah, tour guide and another BA. So this is in hand. Normal summon, tour guide, special summon, the graph, go into Cherubini. Graph will trigger, special summoning the seer. And then you can use Cherubini's effect. You could do one of two things. You could either just, if you don't control any spell or traps, right, you could special summon the Calcab from your hand. But maybe let's say you do have a trap. You can still get around that. You can just use Cherubini's effect now to send, if I can find them, to send the Libic from your deck to the graveyard. And then Libic's effect will trigger to special summon whatever BA's in your hand. So even if you do have a trap or a spell or trap, then it doesn't matter. And now you can go into Boral Sword. So Boral Sword will trigger, or sorry, get summoned. And then if this was later in the game, then most likely you would have a Dante Engrave, and then you could just use Seer. Like if not, then if it was like the beginning, I guess you'd only end on Boral Sword, which is not as strong by itself. But if this was later in the game and you already had a Dante in the graveyard, then with Seer's effect, when you got sent to the graveyard, you could summon Dante. And this is basically, I mean, I'm not saying it's a game, but this will be able to give you a very strong board to follow up with, because you would attack with Boral Sword, run over whatever monster, attack with Dante, trigger Boral Sword to switch down to the defense, and then Boral Sword attack. That's basically 7,000. 7,000, wait, actually doesn't this card gain the attack of monsters as well? Yeah, this card gains attack, so it could be more, depending on whatever monster you destroy the Boral Sword. But yeah, basically, actually no, would it be 7? Like I said, I have to do the math, but yeah, basically you would end like that, and then after your battle phase, then you can just go into Downard, like this, and then go into Zeus. And look at that, you have Boral Sword, you have Zeus, and you have a face down. Like, I mean, that's if you had a face down, right? But if not, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you had a face down or not. If you didn't have a face down, of course, like I said, you wouldn't have had to use Cherubini to send the Libic. You would have just special summoned the Calcab that you had in hand if you had no spell traps. I mean, you could have just used the Cherubini to send Skarm or something, and then you would end like this, and then on your end board you would also, sorry, on your end board, your end phase, you would also have Tour Guide added to hand for follow up again. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different options you can do, but I really like Cherubini. That's why, I don't know why some people think the card is not as good, but it just goes to show what kind of combos you can do with Cherubini. And with just one Tour Guide, or like one Tour Guide and a Burning Abyss. Really strong stuff. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it for the little tutorial. I'm glad I was able to actually, I had originally only planned to show like the first 3 combos, but then I forgot about this, and that I could have shown this as well. So basically shows you all the little tips and tricks you can do with Burning Abyss. And yeah, and like I said, most of these combos only used either 1 or 2 cards in hand. Actually, all of them did, only 1 or 2. So if you have like more BAs, or if you have hand traps and like or trap cards, that's just even more interruption on your opponent's turn. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this little, I guess, profile and tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something from this. And yeah, expect oh yeah, I will actually you guys, I'm recording this, and I'm like gonna record multiple videos at the same time. I was about to say like expect the Dragon Link video, but I'm probably gonna record that one, and I'm probably gonna upload that one first. So it hasn't been recorded yet, but it's about to be. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.